This is the story of Katherine Knight, an Australian woman who holds a terrible record. She's actually the first woman in that nation's history to be sentenced to life in prison without any possibility of parole. And why, you might ask? Well, first, let's get a little backstory. Born in 1955, Knight grew up in a dysfunctional and very violent environment in New South Wales. This pattern of extreme violence followed her into adulthood and all of her relationship. She worked as an arbiter, a job she called her dream job, and quickly got her own set of butcher knives, which she kept hung over her bed. So I'm assuming that's kind of like a butcher. Her first marriage to David Kellett was brutally abusive. On the wedding night, she tried to strangle him. Later, she hit him with a frying pan and caused severely fractured skull, which left her, she placed their 2-month-old baby on a railway line moments before a train had arrived, only for the child to be rescued by a homeless man. So her pattern, as you can see, gets kind of fierce, and she was also very fiercely jealous. She assaulted her partner and then begged to return. A relationship with David Saunders, when she feared he would cheat, she simply cut the throat of his 2-month-old dingo puppy in front of him as a warning. Her last partner was John Price, a kind, well-liked man who knew her reputation but moved into her house anyway. The relationship was rather volatile, and in 1998, when he refused to marry her, she got him fired from his job of 17 years by sending a videotape of items he had supposedly stolen. In February of 2000, Price was done. He took out a restraining order against Knight, and that day he told co-workers that if he didn't show up to work the next day, it was because Knight had murdered him. He went home that night, and Knight arrived. And after having sex with him, she waited until he fell asleep. Around 12:30 in the morning, she took her butcher knives and began stabbing him. Price woke up. He was stabbed 37 times as he desperately tried to escape the house, but finally collapsed in the hallway. Several hours later, she skinned his body. She hung the skin from a meat hook on the door frame of the living room. She then decapitated him and cooked his head and parts of his body with vegetables. She set the table with 2 plates, each serving of flesh, and placed a note next to them addressed to Price's children. Her intention was to feed their father to them. So, she was found comatose after trying to take her own life, having been interrupted by a co-worker who came to check on Price. Knight later pled guilty to the murder. In 2001, the judge emphasized the sheer depravity of the crime that Knight's lack of remorse. She was sentenced to life in prison without any possibility of parole, a historical first event in Australia. For a woman, she appealed the sentence in 2006, arguing it was too severe, but the court dismissed it, calling the crime appalling and nearly unimaginable in a civilized society. Katherine Knight remains behind bars in the Silverwater Women's Correctional Center, the only woman in Australia guaranteed to die behind bars. So what part of this case shocked you? The fact that she was a psycho with her partners, or an extreme psycho when it came to dismembering a man? Let me know what you think. Give me a like, comment, and share.